We're going to chat about what I believe is one of the biggest problems in fight sports, and for people in particular who want to get one of these. Not in particular the glory belt, but if you're going, I want a UFC belt, I want a glory belt, I want a 1FC belt, I want to win my local, maybe let's say provincial or state kickboxing title, something like that. We're talking about what is the biggest issue to getting one of these. Before we get to that, I just want to let everybody know that I have a limited edition, special limited edition run of fightwear. We got jersey, we got shorts. I am drained tonight. I was out sparring for the first time in, 3 months. So I'm not even going to edit this video. No editing. I'm not going to show you an image of the jersey. I'm just going to let you click the link below and you can go and check it out there. But be sure you do. This only lasts for, I think, about 11 more days before it's closed off. Limited edition. That's what I said. So we are talking about the biggest problem in fight sports when you want to get one of these. I'm going to give you the problem and I'm going to give you a solution. So I'm not just leaving you. The problem is, how do you get to the point where you can actually achieve one of these? For example, in tennis, golf, many sports, you can go to your local event. And if you win that, you get accepted into something else, which leads you to something else, which leads you to something else. There's no way to stop people from being able to chase their dreams. When you want to go after something like this, there are so many hurdles in the way. How do you sign with Glory? How do you even get them to notice you? Once you sign with them, sure, you can go and try and win every fight they give you, but maybe they're not giving you good fights. Maybe they're not giving you enough fights. Maybe you're just going, oh, I don't see a clear path. And that is the case. And it's frustrating. And I am one of the very few fortunate people within North America who had the opportunity to sign with Glory. And even more so, because there have been a number of people sign with Glory. Some of them didn't get their chance because they were not winning enough fights. Some of them didn't get their chance because they're just going, oh, I get so few fights within the promotion. I'm not really getting to show my true potential. So how do we get around that? And it's the same. If you want to win your provincial, your state, your country title, how do you get yourself a spot where you get the opportunity? Because not having the opportunity is one of the things that hurts the most. And I know because I had this big period. I want to say it was from about 2010 to 2012, where getting fights was so difficult. Nobody wanted to fly me in because it cost a lot of money. Once I finally managed to get a fight and I beat somebody, then nobody really wants to fly you in because they don't want you to beat their hometown boy. And these guys, or K1 or anybody else, they don't really care about North American fighters. And how do you develop contacts to get in and actually even message the people in charge of signing fighters? Like, that is a battle. That is a massive battle. So let's talk about possibilities, because in my mind, it's so frustrating to be somebody who has a dream but not see the path. It's like, you want to be a doctor? There's a path. Go take these courses, get grades that are good enough. You want to be a fireman? Go take these classes, these courses, get this degree, blah, 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 come and take our tests. There's always clear paths. There's no clear path in the fight world. So the very first thing, obviously, is everybody should already be doing, develop your skills, right? If you go and you fight and you don't look great, the promotions are not going to take you serious. You've got to show them something exciting. You got to show them that you're going to be somebody that will put people in the stands, that are going to excite those fans, but that should already be a given. You should know that. So how do we go about, let's say, getting to a state title or an international title? The big thing you should be looking at is the stepping stones to get somewhere. So if you are aiming for a title way up here and you're going, man, there's no way these guys are even going to pay attention to me, look at other people who fight in that promotion. What did they do beforehand? And that's exactly what I did. Before I got this, I went, oh, look at Misato. He has an ISKA belt. Maybe I should get one of those. Look at John Wayne Parr. He has a WKN belt. Maybe I should get one of those. And you at least build up some credentials. So you can do it that way. You can also find out who is a person who has had these opportunities that you want, whether it be something local, something within your country, something international, who accomplished the dream that you had, and look at their path. Which promotions did they fight for? Who did they make contacts with? And that is the big difficulty. How do you get connected? How do you get the opportunity? It's very simple, at least in theory. Let them know you exist. Now, if you shoot Glory a message with, oh yeah, I have a 1-1 record or a 5-0 record or a 6-2 record, they're probably not really going to pay attention. So that's a little too early. But if you're somebody who's like, you know what, in a year, I want to be fighting for this local promotion for their title. And yeah, maybe right now they're not going to pay attention to me, but you at least get their contacts. You just message the promoter. You say, in 6 months or a year, when I have 2 more fights, I would love to come and fight for you. Here's who I am. Here's some videos. And please keep me in mind for any opportunities that may come up. So once you've built your record, you've padded your record to something which is now reasonable, it's not the first time they're hearing about you. They've heard about you before. And we basically had to go this route with a lot of the promotions. Reach out, get denied. Reach out again, get denied. Reach out again, get denied. But at some point, you get your little opportunity. And that's all you're waiting for. Just that one little moment where they go, we'll give you a chance. And you go and win that fight. And then you have follow-up fights from it. Again, easier said than done. Not something that is just going to be like, oh, I want to go and fight and I'll just call up somebody and they'll get me a title fight. No, it's not that simple. There are alternative ways to go as well. I never took them, and they probably would have been much more simplistic than what I did, because it was all down to me and my father to make the connections. But other ways to go are find a gym that already has connections. If you want to fight in the UFC and you're trying to call up the UFC yourself, it's going to be a hard task. If you go to a gym where they already have a UFC fighter, or a couple of them, and they can go, oh yeah, we have, they can call the matchmakers and be like, look, we got this guy, we want to run him by you. Right away, you're already at such an advantage compared to what you would have been. You can go about through gyms, you can try and make contacts in other ways. For me, I was very lucky. The ISKA president reached out on behalf of me and said, look guys, I have this kid from Canada, he's pretty good, I think you should give him a shot. So you start developing some ties. They say in, not just the fight world, but all aspects of industry within any part of the world, I guess, that it's who you know. And as disappointing as that is, when it would be nice to just be like, you know what? You're somebody who's been training for 5 years, you have a little local gym, you have no connections. It'd be lovely if you could just go show up at a tournament and qualify for another one and qualify for another one. And then all of a sudden, boom, you have a contract in Glory. But it doesn't work that way. So you have to make those contacts. You have to shake some hands, send some emails, let people know you exist. And then you have to go and fight and be awesome. So yes, easier said than done, but it is the most frustrating thing in the fight world. And even for myself, for instance, I have stated a couple times that what would the ideal path for my career be in these last couple years where I fight. I was like, okay, I have a fight in karate combat, I win that. I have another fight, title fight, I win that. And then I get 1 or 2 fights in the UFC. Just to say I've done it, because I've done pretty much everything else. So I just say, okay, you know what? I want to fight in the UFC at the end. But I know people who know people, but on my own, I can't do it. I can't just call them up. I don't know anybody's number. I'll be sending emails to their UFC website, hoping somebody gets back. No, I have to rely on the contacts I have and the people within Canada who have fought in the UFC and the coaches that I know who go to the events. That's the path if I wanted to take it. So it all comes down to that, guys. For somebody who's new to the fight world, build up your social media, whether that be posting sparring clips, posting training footage, start trying to just get that social media built up. So you're not at 200 or 300 where you go knocking on these these doors. You want to have so much influence already. Be like, yeah, look at, I have 10,000 people in this local area who follow me and I'm going to sell tickets. And then from there, yeah, you'll probably have a better opportunity. It's the way it is now. I never did it early in my career, but looking back, I wish I would have started earlier. It probably would have made the path that much better. And there is a lot of luck, I'm going to say, that goes in to getting in the door with these people. Yes, there's skill. Yes, there's time. Yes, there's effort. And still at the end of the day, there's luck. They happen to be looking for a North American fighter at the time when I was really wanting to fight. Things lined up, things clicked. 6 months later, 6 months earlier, who knows, that spot may have not been there, or it may have been filled by another fighter. So as disappointing as it is, as frustrating as it is, not so much for myself anymore because I got lucky, but for everybody out there knowing how hard it is, take the steps that I mentioned, start developing it, and you have that much more likelihood of getting signed to your dream promotion or getting that dream belt, which you've always wanted. That's all, guys. See you back here soon.